everybody, McKnit here, your crochet mama. Tonight I am continuing with my Ridgy Didge blanket. It's just going to be busy work tonight. And let's see, last time I left off on, I should have gotten my project out, I guess, before I started talking. I left off on this row 4. I was on row 4 of the dark denim row. I have one more color in my, oh goodness. So on YouTube, this blue and this purple look very close to each other. So, I wasn't expecting that. They don't look close at all in color from where I'm sitting, but yeah, all right. Anyways, it is what it is. Did I say that already? Okay, so this project is a start to finish. I am 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm on the 4th day. Okay, so no way this one is getting done in 6 days. So if you've been hanging around here for any length of time, you know that not all 6-day blankets can be made in 6 days. It's a misnomer of sorts. I mean, not really, but when I made the blanket, I named it the 6-day blanket because it took me 6 days to make. It was a toddler blanket made with chunky weight yarn. And I didn't think that y'all would be making it and wanting to upsize it into these bigger sizes. I wasn't expecting it ever to be a star or for it to take on the life that it has taken on. So that being said, most 6-day blankets can be made in 6 days, but not this one because it's too big. Worsted weight yarn and a twin size blanket is probably going to take me about 2 weeks. So there you have it. So it's been 4 days. I've gotten this far. And you got to admit, this is pretty far for 4 days. Look how long this is. It's a little bit more than 60 inches wide, and it's going to, I make them 60 by 70 is what I make, how I make my blankets now. 50 by 70. This one I think is 60 by 70 something. I forget. I should pull up the pattern, I guess, and check and see what my actual pattern says. How long am I making this? It says 60 by 70. See, I knew it. I knew it was right. Okay, TikTok, let me put you up there and let me flip the view on YouTube, and then I will get started. Let's do this. The yarn that I'm using is Lion brand Respun. It's recycled yarn. It's made from recycled yarn. It's made from recycled polyester, I believe. Wonderful concept. I love that concept. The yarn doesn't always flow for me though. Hi Lacy Lavender, making a textured chevron, making it larger than it was supposed to be. Yeah, when you upsize, it's probably gonna take longer. Okay, so I finished on row 4, and for this blanket, this is the Ridgy Didge stripe. We change colors at row 6. So I have one more row of this dark denim color, it's called. And then I'll be switching colors. I have a total of 6 colors that I'm using for this project. So I have one more that I haven't used yet, and I'll be adding that in next, and then repeating, going back to color A. So this is A, B, C, D, E. I'm on color E, row 4. All right, so that's what we're doing. Let me just go over here and make sure it happened. It's happening. Yep, people over here watching. All right. Hey, Ben. Ben is asking, maybe explain how to hide the excess yarn. You mean, we call that weaving in your ends. You take your ends and you weave them in. You use a yarn needle and weave them in to your project. I do not recommend tying a knot and cutting it off. That is going to come undone. And I don't care how many times you've done it and you have yet to have one come undone. They come undone. If you don't think you've had one come undone, it's because you don't know where all your knots ended up. You gave away your soldier projects. Knots do not work and they're unprofessional, and then we're not tying a magic knot and then putting glue on it. Come on. Sometimes I think people call things magic just to make them sound better than they are. B, C, D, E. I said, I think maybe I should say on YouTube, that I started at the first stripe of color E, which for me is dark denim. Okay, and then when I finish, I'll add where I ended. I'm using an eye hook, which I believe is a 5mm Furls Odyssey crochet hook. A moment of silence. May the Furls Odyssey rest in peace. Della says, I learned to tie knots in a textile plant. One yarn was used to make seat covers for Fjord. Wow. I think knots have their place. I just don't use them in my crochet. Hi, thanks for following. Okay, row 5 is a double crochet row. We're changing colors between the 2 double crochet rows on this blanket, and creating a color contrast with a little bit of texture. Oh, you had to learn how to make them. Well, on the Ford seat covers, was that fabric woven? Or what was it you were tying it on in? My turkey smells really good, by the way. I made turkey, sweet potatoes, mashed potatoes, stuffing, and Brussels sprouts. And I'm all done with all my Christmas everything. So I'm just going to be hanging out here eating turkey, potatoes, gravy, Brussels sprouts. I think I have some cranberries too. I think I'll make up a little cranberry sauce. That tastes amazing with turkey. Um, and I'm just going to be doing that and crocheting and watching movies and taking beach walks for the next 3 or 4 days. We made spools of thousands of strands and thousands of yards. Wow. My turkey is almost done. When my oven beeps, I'm going to have to get up from here and take it out and put my Brussels sprouts in. Definitely feels like a TGIF. Is anyone, Cheryl says she's knitting on a hat. What are we all working on tonight? Almost forgot about my stitch balm. I'm using Cheer on this blanket. And I just want to say, because somebody asked about this today on one of my other posts. Hi, Nancy. Wishing you well. Wishing you a wonderful. Nancy Abrams says, hello, Betty, and all your followers. Wishing everyone a wonderful holiday. Wish you a wonderful holiday as well. But yeah, someone asked today about the Stitch Balm. The Stitch Balm is an aromatherapy balm. It just makes your project smell nice. It smells nice while you're working on your crochet or knitting project. It does not relieve pain. I think there might have been some confusion about that because I'm often talking about staying safe and crocheting without pain and talking about things that will help you keep your hands healthy and stuff like that. But the Stitch Balm is really just for enjoyment. It is not a pain relief thing. Oh, goodness. Oops. I think I put this stitch marker in the middle here so that I would remember to balm up again in the middle, because I always do it at the beginning of the row. Which pattern, Lacey? They're all on my website. Hey, Nancy, I'm really sorry for your loss. This is not a fun time to lose someone. I'm really sorry. My children are grown and they do not have children of their own. My daughter has already been here for her holiday visit. I put the tree up in the beginning of December. She was here last week. I went and picked her up and dropped her. In fact, I dropped her back off a week ago today. So she's been gone for a week, and I'm like, I'm ready to take the tree down. So I decided I was going to just cook a bunch of food and, make myself something nice to eat and just hang out. It's not that important of a day to me anymore. I'm just here enjoying my peace. I would love it if my son came to visit, but I don't think that's going to happen this year. I have a friend who's getting ready to have a baby, and she has asked me to help her with the baby when the baby comes. So I'm not exactly sure when that's going to happen. So I'm just chilling out and getting caught up on my work so that when I get the call, I can just go and not worry about my real life for a couple of weeks, you know, and just be present for her and her new baby and her kids and help her with her stuff. Hey Amy, you're on TikTok. Yeah, always have crochet with me when I go. I have a blanket for the baby, and I have blankets for the other kids too, but I have one that's not even started yet, so I'm going to get started on that tonight and try and get that done before I go. If I don't get that done, then only the baby is getting their blanket. And that's going to be that. But I think I can throw together a star blanket with chunky yarn pretty quick. Pretty darn quick. I bet I can do it in 3 days. Especially since I have a whole turkey here and I'm not going to have to cook for a few more days. And I am going to eat turkey for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I don't usually cook big meals for myself. I just pick, you know. I just pick, or I just, you know, open a can of sardines. I mean, I have tons of baby blankets in my, there's tons of 6-day baby blankets. You were homeless. My goodness. I'm really sorry to hear that. I'm glad to hear. Sounds like you found a place. Wow, that sounds really difficult. Row 5 complete. Color A, B, C, D, E. Now we're moving on to color F. Color F is called Amber. That's my niece's name. It looks really red on TikTok, but it's not red in real life. Come on. Give me that end. Don't make me dig. No. I can tell that the end where I'm going to find it is this end. Some people say slamming it like this works. I don't know why that would work. You know this is going to be a disaster. Okay. All right. All right. That is barf, but that's not a bad barf. Look at that. I should have done this before I got on the call, but I was cooking turkey. I'm going to be live on here on 3 or 4 days, like going like, oh, I'm so tired of turkey. And y'all are going to be laughing at me. Laughing. I don't know what it is about these two colors, but I love blue and orange together. Finally, here we go. We're getting there. All right. Hello, Andrew. Okay, this is the oil that I use on my hands. It is also not a pain. It does not relieve pain, but it does relieve swelling. Okay. And it does not make your hands super greasy. It's very light. It's absorbed really quickly. And so you don't have to worry about it getting all over your project. Okay, so that's, I use that, and I usually use that with this. I'm just not quite ready to blast my hands right now. And then this is the one that I use for pain, but I bought this at a spa, so I don't know really where to get it. It's not in my shop. It's a CBD oil, so I'll find another one. Yeah, they have the breasts, but I just wanted to make a whole turkey. I haven't done it in forever. My landlord put a new oven in for me this summer, and I kept saying, I'm gonna make a turkey. I'm gonna make a turkey. I'm gonna make a turkey. And so I'm making a turkey. My oven's filthy though. Okay, so this is row 6. This is color F. First stripe of color F. And this is row 6. 1, 2, 3. And then this is the Ridgy Didge row. Okay, so for this row, it's exactly like the regular 6-day kid blanket row 6, except instead of double crochet, we're doing front post double crochet. So when you work a front post stitch, you work around the post of the stitch. Thank you, Andrew. There's such a thing as front post, and there's such a thing as back post. So that's front post. I'm working around the post of the stitch from the front. If I were doing back post, I would work around the post of the stitch from the back like that. But this one only has front post. Made turkey and ham for Thanksgiving, so it is prime rib for Christmas. That sounds nice. I love prime rib. I was thinking about going to see a movie just to get out of the house. I think I want to go see that Poor Things. That looks different. Differently different. There are a couple weird movies on Netflix too that I just watched yesterday and today, and they were both differently different. Oh, there goes my oven. My turkey is done. Turkey time. All right. I'll be right back. Oh, if I can get up. The turkey's done. Hey, Amy. I just wanted to let you know I haven't sent you your thing yet, so it's probably, it's for sure not going to get there by Christmas. I brought some of my stuffing to taste. It's looking a little mushy. Made 3 of your blankets for... Oh, thank you for telling me. I hope they love them. And I hope they... Oh, this... I can taste that the celery is like not cooked. I have it on slow cook, so it's nowhere near ready. Needs to cook longer. I hope it keeps them warm for years, and I hope they cherish them for years. Those are heirlooms. Hi, Chocolate. Andrew, you know you can mute people. I kind of figured you weren't in a hurry for it. You always have so much going on. I had to wait for the scented stitches to come in anyways, and I just opened their package today. It's been sitting in my car. They sent me a good little bit of free product. They're really nice. All right. Well, not the best stuffing I've ever had, but it's not done yet. I was still at work yesterday, but now off for break. I really need this downtime. Me too. Last night was the longest night of the year. And now the days are going to start getting longer and the nights shorter. And I don't know why I find that so extremely comforting. I'm just really grateful that I have this time to finish up some projects that are. I got a lot of whips. That's going to be my goal, to finish up as many whips as I can over the next week or so. That was one angry little knot. uh, I don't like how my Christmas tree, I don't like the way I arranged the living room this year with the Christmas tree. And it's because I have an additional piece of furniture that I didn't have last time. And good night, Nancy. Take care. Uh, I it made I had to put the tree like over way too far, and then I had to put my chair over by the window, and I don't like sitting by the window. I like sitting on the other side of the room and looking out the window from across the room. I don't like sitting there looking into my house. So I think I'm going to take the tree down and rearrange my room. Good night, Andrew. Get some rest. Take care of yourself. I feel like I've been live for a really long time and I've only completed one row. This is my second row. How are we feeling about this blue and orange together, friends? I really like it, personally. It was planned. Jeanette's asking if this was a planned color palette or random. What I did was, and you can go back on the replays if you want to see like my whole thought process and everything that I did, but I knew I wanted to use this yarn. I didn't know what colors I wanted. I ordered like 10 or 11 of the colors that I liked. And then once I got them in front of me, there were some that seemed like a little bit too close to each other. And then there were some that I just wasn't excited about. So at the end of the day, I chose the 6 colors out of those 11 that I felt excited about. So that's as deep as it went. And then I kind of line them up. Also, the colors aren't really accurate on TikTok. This is way more purple than it looks on TikTok. This is more of a salmon than a pink. This down here is more blue than green. This is more of like a rusty orange than a red. I don't know why the colors are not showing up with a lot of accuracy on TikTok. I'm not sure what that's about. I have aught lights over my desk, so I would think that they would be, you know, if you want to see what they really look like, head over to YouTube and it's more accurate over there. But these are this is the last color in the sequence that I have planned. So after this, I'll be going back to this aqua turquoise. It was a good question, though. I appreciate that. I'm so indecisive with colors. I tend to do scrap blankets so I don't have to choose. Well, I am a big fan of the random chance methods. Honestly, people always say that I'm really good with color, but I fly by the seat of my pants and I do things like what I did with this blanket, which was I feel excited about this. I don't feel excited about this. I'm excited about this one. I'm not excited about that one. I'm gonna and I had like two different yellows. So it was like, well, I like this yellow more than this yellow. They're too close. I'm just only going to use one of them. So there was a little bit of that. Which one do I feel excited about? You know, it was like that. Honestly, I think people get way too hung up on it. And a lot of the time I see like, you know, things are like really matchy. You know, if people, you know, they're like afraid they're going to do something wrong. So they'll make everything like different shades of pink or different shades of blue. Um, when really what really makes color stand out, I think, is when you use contrasting colors. You know, you use complementary or tertiary or primary or whatever they're called. Use complementary, and there are other words. I don't remember them all right now, but um yeah. And then sometimes what I do is I will go against what I normally choose because I gravitate to like blues and greens. So then I'll end up with like a bunch of different yarns, but they'll all be basically the same colorway. They appealed to me when I saw them, and I thought, oh, isn't that beautiful? And then when I got them home, and I'm like, this is really similar to this. It's actually really similar, has a lot of the same colors. So that's one other tactic that I've taken, is to be like, well, normally I would go towards this color, but let me pick, you know, something completely opposite of that. So what that ends up looking like for me, because I really like green and blue, I'll go towards like orange or peach. I love the Pantone color this year. Did you all see that peach fuzz? So pretty. I love peach. Hey, Amanda. I just saw your comment. This is the slowest row, I think, of all the rows in this blanket. I've been averaging about 6 or 7 rows. Let's try and remember what I did last time. I'm going to start writing it down so that people know when they go back to the replay. So whenever you decide you want to do this entire blanket with me, I'll be here for you on YouTube. Hello, Adrian. How's Michigan tonight? Michigan's in the rear view now. Hi, thanks for sharing the live. Oh, there's no way we're having a white Christmas here either. I highly doubt it. I'm in North Carolina though, but I had a beautiful beach walk today. I mean, it was in the 40s, and I went out there with like this big Sherpa jacket on that I bought my daughter and myself each one of those big, like those giant hoodies. And that's what I wear down to the beach when it's really cold. And I went down there and I just had a t-shirt on under it. And when I got there, I was like, this is way too hot for this. So I took it off. And it was a lovely day on the beach today. So it's enough for me to have that. I don't need a white Christmas. I have that ocean. So I had a breast reduction like almost 2 years ago now, and I can still feel it pulling on the right side when I stretch like that. I reach my arms up. I don't think I'm actually supposed to put my arms up over my head like that anymore, but I'm like, I have to stretch. Remember, I accidentally did it too soon after I had surgery, and whoops, sorry, the left side came undone, opened up. I felt it go pop. So I have a big scar. Tell you what again, chocolate. This is row 7. It's single crochet all the way. It's blue. The name of the color is dark denim. Yeah, I didn't see that question at all. Yeah, I didn't see it. You can if I don't see your question, tag Outer Banks Crochet, because that's the account I'm watching the live on my desktop. The colors are not showing up correctly on TikTok, but it's a dark denim blue. Thank you very much. I'm excited about these colors. I haven't decided what kind of edge I'm going to put on it. What do y'all think? Since it's the Ridgy Didge blanket, I want to do something ridgy. My go-to lately has been 333 around the edge. 333 and then skip single crochet and then 333. It's so easy. I'm like, why didn't I ever think of this edge before now? I just love it. It's my new go-to. I'm gonna have to get a new chair in here. I cannot get comfortable in this chair. My hips really hurt. Oh, hallelujah. My oven is beeping because my Brussels sprouts are done. Let me go grab those, guys. Okay, they need just a little bit more time. I left them in, but I turned the oven off. Okay. I think my legs are just feeling really heavy and sore today because I took a kind of a long walk out on the beach today. It was so nice though. Okay. Yep. Della says, here at your center, do your balm. Thank you, Della. This blanket is full of cheer, holiday cheer, and aromatic cheer. You're done with wrapping? That was fast. What you working on? It already started when I joined, and I had help from my brother. Using up your Ogos. I still have a bunch of Ogos. I have a bunch of Ogos. I've taken them all apart. And then I saw that they were on clearance at Joann's, and I bought a couple more. And I was like, what am I doing? Why am I buying these? But they had some of the ones that were like all black. And I thought that might come in handy. I am sitting here looking at 2 tubs of them, a big tub and a small tub of leftover Ogo. And I want to make a 6-day chaos blanket with them. It sucks though when you have to make a blanket with, you have to make a blanket, design something and then put it out there into the world, and the yarn is freaking discontinued. And of course everybody will be like, "Oh, what yarn is that? What yarn is that? What yarn did you use?" I haven't released the chaos yet. It's a design workshop in the project in the McKnitiverse, and nobody's working on it but me. Have a couple of those. No, it's not out yet. It's in the McKnitiverse. It's not even a pre-release over there. It's design workshop, which means it's just an idea. It's where I go, I have an idea. This could work like this. And then I explain it to the people. And if anyone feels interested in it, then they might start to work on it. And then I'll write it up as we're going along. But no one's really interested in that one because the ladies in the McKnitiverse do not like to sew things together and weave in ends. And it is a project that requires a lot of weaving in of ends. It utilizes the 6-day granny square. But I mean, you could do it with cake yarn. I just think granny squares, you plan your colors. I do a different color on every round and every row. I started off with the 6-day chaos scarf, and that is done and has been ready for a while, for like almost a year maybe. And I just haven't released it yet. And the one that I made is obnoxiously huge, like bigger than Lenny Kravitz's scarf. It's even bigger than that. And you know, I'm like, do I have the confidence to pull this off? I don't really know. I mean, I think I do. I think I could do it, but I'm too hot. That is the real problem. I was outside in 40 degrees today and I was too hot. I had to go down to a t-shirt. So at the end of the day, I'm like, I, I love the idea of this ginormous scarf and I really want to strut around in it. Um, I really like it because it makes me look skinny. Like, it's so big, it makes me look skinny. And I'm not. I'm not any. In no world would anyone describe me as skinny. But that scarf makes me look skinny. So I love it, but I'm too hot in it. I'm just too hot. So it's not the right it's not the right scarf for me. I need to maybe make a smaller one. I don't know, but anyways, it started off with that, the chaos scarf. So it has like 10 or maybe even 12 6-day granny squares, and they're big granny squares too. It's big. It is a big scarf. Somebody made it in 3-weight and it was wonderful in 3-weight. So, yeah, so you make all the granny squares, you sew them together, and then you do 6-day kid blanket along the side, straight start back and forth of it, um and then it's edged with quite a wide edge. I did see the granny square yarn, and I have to say, I don't feel excited about that yarn. I think that is a gimmick, but that's just my opinion. That is not yarn that I feel compelled to try. I'm not interested in it. I'm sorry to say. No shade or hate on anyone who likes it, is interested in it, has tried it, loved it, or thinks it's good at nothing negative. It's just it's not for me. Besides, if I'm gonna make a granny square, I'm gonna make the 6-day granny square because I'm spoiled for I'm spoiled now. Oh, by the way, I'm on row 2 now, and I don't think I stopped and took a break, and I don't think I said what I was doing, but I'm on row 2. I was laughing about my scarf. That scarf is so gigantic that I got a when I did the 6-day star shawls, I got those little shawl clips to wear them with, which are really nice to just like hold them in place. And so I bought one for that scarf as well because it's really big, and it's nice to have something that will just like hold it together in a certain way. So I can wrap it around my neck and then bring it around to the front, and I got this shawl clip, and it's like a Celtic tree of life kind of looking thing, and so I was like clipping it with that, and I feel like I just look like I'm like in Game of Thrones or something. I'm like with that big, it's, I'm like in this big colorful cloak with this big like belt buckle and the, Celtic like belt buckle. I'm like, winter is coming. No, it's not. I'm in North Carolina, it's not even cold. It's just like, it's just 17 layers of silly, and it's like a blanket. It's like wearing a blanket. Um, it's very, it's very odd, especially for the price point. Oh, I don't even know what the price point is on it. I'm not, I'm not excited about that. I mean, I'm working with Knitting Fever and they give me Noro. Look, you know, yes. Oh, wow. Okay. I might have been a little bit more interested if the colors were like appealing, but the colors did not really appeal to me. And I thought, well, that just takes all the creativity out of it for me, is not being able to pick the colors. And I don't know, $10 to $12 a skein. I mean, I'm sure that a lot of people will really love it. I've seen some projects with it. Granny squares are huge right now. Um, everybody's making stuff out of granny squares, so, you know, I'm sure they'll do really well with it. I imagine it takes some kind of fiddling around to get the colors to land on the right, in the right place. I'm really excited to see the turquoise on the as the next color here on this. I feel like that's going to be really exciting. I'm excited about these colors. I don't know. I already changed colors though, so will I make another color change tonight? I kind of doubt it, but we'll see. Maybe I'll get there. I feel like only a crazy person would be like doing an entire project on my video from start to finish. I mean, what am I thinking? I have a real pretty 16-point star that I made. Not as crazy as when you did the project straight through. Oh, that one. That only took me 2 days, though. I did a crochet marathon. That was fun. I should do that again. Well, my computer's really thinking a lot right now. I feel like this is going to become really difficult to work on because it's going to get really big. Do that when I'm out for spring break and I'll work along with you. Okay, let me know when that is and I'll plan one for that time. And that would be the time to do a chunky throw. Oh, I got a big split right there. This yarn, I'm just going to say it. I don't like to say bad stuff about different yarns, but this is a splitty yarn. It's really quiet here. I really thought that there would be more people at the grocery store today. I thought because people do come in here for the holidays and spend the holidays in their beach houses, and so I expected the grocery store to be like really busy today, but it wasn't. There was hardly anyone there. Um, and the cashier was saying that a lot of people have been saying that their families are coming tonight, so they're expecting the grocery store, expecting it to be a little bit more busy tomorrow. But I mean, it was just like, Some rows of the 6-day blanket are faster than others. The Ridgy Didge row is the slowest row. The last week of March, so 25 through 29. That might work. I'll have to look at my calendar. All right. That was row 2. Listen to those wrists just crackling. I remember the other day when I put those fighting dots on. Thank you. I don't know what just happened, but thanks. By the way, doesn't my hair look good? I got it cut again. And she did this whole curly girl process where she put all this gel on it and she like sectioned it off into really tiny sections and then finger twisted everything, and it was all sopping wet and like super slimy from this gel. And I was like, girl, this is never gonna look good. But I didn't say nothing. I just sat there like, okay, we're doing this. And somebody came over while I was sitting there, and I don't know who they were because I had my eyes closed. And they said, I know this is a whole process, but it's going to make your curls last a lot longer and it's going to look great. And I was like, I don't know who you are. But they were right, whoever they were. Hi, Brienne. Oh, that was a lot of lotion I did. Probably a little too much. A little too much. Oh no, what am I doing? I'm starting to single crochet here, and it should really be, it's row 3. Granny clusters in the spaces. My day was pretty good. I went to the grocery store and I bought a turkey and I cooked it. And I haven't eaten it yet. It smells amazing, but it's going to be leftover city here all weekend. I've got all the food for the next 4 days. And it's just going to be relax, crochet, sleep, beach walks. Nope. I almost messed it up. I wonder how far I would have gotten doing single crochets. Yeah, I'm just looking at my little markers here. I've only ever done one color change on a live, so this is how far I've gone tonight. I really want to get to another color change. We'll see how I do. Uh-oh. Ladybird says, that pattern hard. It takes a little patience to get it started. A little tricky getting it set up, but once you get it, it just flies. It is more, I feel like you don't get bored with this pattern because you are, changing there's 3 different rows. So you're alternating the granny cluster rows with straight double crochet, and then they're separated by straight rows of single crochet, so you never get bored. And if you get tired of doing it back and forth, you can do it in a star shape. And if you get tired of doing it, doing the chevron, you can do it as a granny square. If you've never done a 6-day blanket, I think the easiest one to start with is actually the star blanket. I have a whole Facebook group to help answer your questions and get you going. No matter how frustrated you hear people sometimes get that they're stuck or whatever, I promise it's not nearly as hard as you think. You started crochet when you were 6? Well, a lot of the time the people that struggle with patterns are the ones that have been crocheting for a long time, and they don't understand something, or they make a mistake and they assume that because they have been crocheting for so long, it must be the pattern that's wrong. Once you decide that the pattern's wrong, forget it. Or if you, like I saw today, somebody posted a video and I could tell right away that they had done something with their star blanket because it was ruffling a little bit. And then they did say in the comments that they only got so far and then they started going off pattern. But if you don't understand the 6-day star blanket, or you make a mistake or it doesn't work out and you self-correct, it won't work out on the next round. Or it might work out on the next round, but 2 rounds later, you're going to start having problems. So it just is not one that you can self-correct on, but it works out as written. If it's not working out, you have to go back. You should go back and figure out where you went astray from the pattern. Once you figure that out, then you can get back on track and you'll be fine. Get the pattern memorized and it's very easy. But once you start going off pattern is when it doesn't work out. People that have been crocheting a long time tend to overthink. They start going, does she mean this? Does she mean that? They have all these ideas about other things it could mean. I don't know what more you want to see, Ladybird. It's right here. Okay, Della, I'm at my marker, so I'm gonna balm up. Smells nice. So how many of us on this call are scrambling to get gifts made? Anybody? Anyone scrambling? Anyone making something for themselves? Anyone gift themselves some yarn? You're doing ear warmers? Don't call me out like that. Oh, goodness. Well, take care of yourself. You know, it's not worth hurting yourself. So make sure you are using good ergonomics and taking care of your body. You don't want to end up with carpal tunnel for Christmas. Don't call me out like that, she says. That's funny. My daughter was so cute when I dropped her off. When I took her home last week, she had on the 6-day hexagon cardigan that I made her. I had brought it home and taken it apart because it was kind of sliding off her shoulders. It didn't really fit her exactly right, and I was going to just tack up the seams a little bit and just leave it at that, and I didn't. I took the whole hood off, and I redid the buttonhole band, and so I could seam up the shoulders a little bit more and close up the neckline and make it smaller. And so I had to mess around with the hood, and it didn't look as good once I finished it, but it fit. And she was wearing it, and she seemed to really like it. I made 12 pairs of towel holders, but they were done and gifted. That's a nice little gift. This is starting to look like a real blanket, y'all. What do you think? I feel like these lives are going to be boring. Trying to finish 2 sweaters before Monday. Are you out of your mind? Don't hurt yourself. You know, I have gifted things that weren't finished before. Aw, thank you, Pat. Hey, Cindy, good to see you. I love row 3. It goes so fast. Working on 2 blankets for Christmas gifts, and I promise to have them finished and delivered by Valentine's Day. There you go. Well, I'm very fast on this row. This yarn is slowing me down, though, I have to say. It's a little splitty. See that? The blanket's going to be 60 by 70. Still can't crochet much because of your wrist surgery. I'm sorry to hear that. That must be hard. I think I'd go crazy if I couldn't crochet. Did you tell me you were doing like loom knitting or something like that? Hi, Kathy. I must tell you while you were okay. Came across the old videos from the star blanket. Aw. Well, I made new ones since those old ones. I was gonna not take the old ones down, but I was going to maybe put the newer ones, link them to my website and put them on the front page because I think I have the old ones on the front page of my YouTube. They're not the best ones I have, and people try to use my YouTube videos as the pattern, and they're not. They're You can't just use the video for it doesn't give you all the information. So I get a lot of angry comments over there on those videos because I think some noobs are thinking that that's all there is just the video. And they're like, you're not doing it right. But they're the ones not doing it right because you're supposed to use also the pattern. The pattern is the best resource, but some people don't. I'm just going to stop. I'm starting to rant. Betty McKnit is just a ranter. Now I feel like I need a little of this. Okay. Thanks for listening to me. I love when people listen to me. I think I'm just feeling bitter about those videos because I have deleted, but I appreciate you saying that you enjoyed them and that they helped you and that you made nice blankets from them and that you're going to make one for yourself. That's really special. It's just, I have deleted some negativity from that area of my site in the past couple weeks. So, yeah. That's why people can be really mean sometimes. It just really hurts. It hurts me. I get that you're frustrated, you know, but like, I don't know. I don't know what possesses people to be mean on the internet. But thank you, Kathy, for coming and being nice. I appreciate your kind words a lot. Okay, now it's time for single crochet. Let me balm up. You are loom knitting. Okay. Making an afghan. Well, I'm glad you're able to play with yarn. Hi, Carrie's Crochet. I appreciate it, Pat. I was never one that learned from video. I am if I read it in a book, if I read the words, then if I read it, I can understand it. Fran Banan says, how long does the scent stay in the yarn? I'm not sure, to be honest. I get annoyed at videos that like count stitches and do absolutely everything step by step. Like that you don't have to hold our hands through the whole thing. Yeah, there are some people that like that. I can tell you that because they do not like my style. They do not like my style at all. One person, see, now I have all my hooks over here. I'm getting my project caught on my hooks. One person actually defined tutorial and said I wasn't doing a tutorial because a tutorial as defined in the dictionary was blah, blah, blah. Like, this is what the dictionary says tutorial is, and you're not doing that. I'm like, yeah, I know. I prefer written patterns with pictures or charts. Yeah, charts are really hard to make. And I haven't done them for the star blanket yet. And you know why I don't do it? Because it just makes it easier for people to steal. It's one reason why I don't include them with every pattern. It just makes it easier for people to steal. And then they put it on Pinterest and that's it. It's my whole pattern in one image, you know? I really regret doing that. I'm still getting those, or trying to get the graphs of the 6-day kid blanket taken down off of Pinterest. I mean, every once in a while, every like once a month or so, I'll be scrolling through Pinterest and I'll see it and I'll just spend like 20 or 30 minutes just reporting a bunch of them. I reported it not too long ago and usually they take it right down. But they came back to me and they were like, this one that you reported actually came from you. And I was like, well, I can't edit it. It won't let me edit it. You can edit them and take them down. But it wouldn't let me edit it. So I don't know. I was like, just take it down. And then I joined something. They said I could join like some content, I don't know, committee or community or council or something. I don't even know what I joined. And they were like, now you can submit your copyrighted images. So I submitted it to that. But I don't know if it made any difference. Colors look way different on TikTok. Yeah, I know. I could not tell you why. The YouTube is more accurate, at least as far as I can see. Hey Amanda, how are you? Good to see you. You and my sister are probably waiting for me to write up the edge for the Ridgy Didge Supernova. Hey Elderberry, yes I am. I'm Betty McKnit everywhere. I think I might be on Instagram too, live right now. I don't know. I don't even know how that works. I just click the little thing on my restream. The overarching odor or scent in my house right now is Brussels sprouts. FYI. Yeah, on TikTok this orange looks red, but it looks pretty red on YouTube also, but it's actually like a rusty orange brick kind of orange. Oh, well, I made Brussels sprouts and cooked a turkey and stuffing and potatoes and sweet potatoes. And I'm going to do some cranberry sauce. I'm going to do the kind where you boil it yourself. I have the cranberries, they're in my freezer. I love Brussels sprouts. What are you kidding? I love them. Yeah, I made a big dinner for myself for the next week. I'm feeling good. Super. I'm hungry though. Food smells good. I love turkey. I didn't have to ask anybody what they wanted. Pinto beans cornbread. That sounds good. I do my Brussels sprouts with oil and balsamic vinegar and a bunch of salt. I just did this stuffing that's like, I just got the bread, the dried stuffing cubes. I've never actually bought this product before. I usually will break up my own bread to make stuffing, but it's just me. So I just bought those cubes from the store and I put them in I did the onions and celery and in the frying pan with some butter and some herbs, fresh herbs that I bought at the store. And I put that in the rice cooker and cooked it up. And I think I may have done a little too much uh, chicken stock. So we'll see. Well, this is the 6-day blanket. There's lots of different chevron stitches. This one's the 6-day. Well, I mean, I have tips for my own pattern, which is this one. But there are lots of different ways to do a chevron stitch. I have a whole Facebook group that will help you get going, but my recommendation for my particular chevron pattern is that you make a swatch. You work right along with me with the video. Do 37 stitches and 37 chains and work the pattern as written along with my YouTube videos row by row and follow along what I say row by row and also use the pattern. Follow along and understand the pattern row by row on that little swatch. And then after you do that, you can take that and you can measure it. You can, you know, resize the pattern to make a custom size. Figure out how many chains you need to start with. And then go from there. But do the swatch first. I'm Betty McKnit everywhere. Don't try to do my patterns just from the video. Don't try to do the 6-day the first time without doing a swatch. So the reason that I call all of my patterns the 6-day whatever is because they all use these same 6 rows of stitches from my original blanket, which took me 6 days to make. And it was a toddler size blanket made with chunky weight yarn. And I wasn't trying to like fool the internet into, everybody can make these blankets in 6 days, but it was a small blanket and it was made with chunky yarn. So when I was done, I just, oh, wow, this was pretty cool. It only took me 6 days and I wasn't even a crochet designer. I was just on Ravelry, which was new, by the way, at the time. And this is like 2007. There was this new thing called Ravelry and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. This little thing I made, I'll publish it on that thing that somebody told me about. Yeah, let's do that. I was not thinking I was going to have a whole 6-day crochet empire. You were one of the first 1,000 in my group? Wow, that's amazing. There's a whole article about it on my website if you Google why is it called the 6-day kid blanket. But yeah, now all of my projects that have these stitches. Oh, you were one of the first 1,000 people on Ravelry. That's funny. I don't know where I fell on that, but it was pretty early on. And I was like, oh, people are publishing stuff here, and I just published my pattern there. and it was going viral, and I didn't even know. I didn't even know it was going viral. I was in grad school, and I would get these emails, and I'd be like, who is emailing me about this crochet pattern? Say what? And then I had a pattern that was basically, do y'all remember that show True Blood? And in that show, a vampire, was trapped in the vampire dungeon being um tortured, and they let him out, and he comes home, and he curls up in this granny square afghan that was on the back of the couch. Well, this was before crochet had like the moment that it's having now. And uh I was so over on Ravelry, people were like, I want to make that blanket. I want to make that blanket. And I was like, geez, people, like it's just a granny square, like a 5-round granny square with black, the last row in black, and then you sew them all together. Like everybody's grandmother has one of these blankets. Because they make them with scrap yarn and then put them together with black to kind of tie it all together. Like you see them on the back of every couch in every TV show. So, like basically it's just a 5-round granny square. And somebody said, that doesn't make any sense to me. What do you mean? And I was like, Lafayette. Yeah, it was Lafayette. And they show him, and Eric comes in the window, and Scary was in Eric's dungeon. And so I wrote up this, pattern for a 5-round granny square blanket that looks like exactly like the one in True Blood. It's called Lafayette's Afghan, and it's still on Ravelry. You can download it, I believe, for free. And I think it's on my website too. I thought that was like, a pattern people were paying attention to. It was on some like fan pages were talking about this pattern, and there was like a giveaway, and I ended up, like giving away a kit to make the pattern to somebody who like won something on like a radio show. And then my sister was like, I wanted that, so I sent her one. And my sister was making this granny square blanket. She made a bunch of them, and it was called Lafayette's Afghan. And so I would get these emails for the 6-day where did I buy this yarn kid blanket. And I was like, they'd be asking me like, I'm stuck on row this, that, or whatever. And I'd be like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. And I would like, I'd have to like get out my hook and some yarn and like figure out what they were trying to ask me. Be like, who cares about this thing? Who the heck knows what, who's making this? And then fast forward to 2018. There was other stuff that happened too. Like there's the Four Seasons chevron. I started getting contacted from people saying there's this other blanket that's they took your idea and they made their own blanket. And I was like, oh well, mine's free, she's selling hers, whoop-de-doo. I think I reached out to the lady, and she of course was like, oh, I didn't steal anything. But yeah, so there was that happened. And I was just like, it's whatever. And then I go through kind of a hard time, and I find myself like not knowing what I'm going to do for work and being really scared. And then I wake up one day and I checked my Facebook and it says there's like a screenshot of the top 5 patterns on Ravelry. And this person, whoever they are, said, well, I'm no longer number 1, but I'm in good company with Betty McKnit. And there's my name, Betty McKnit, 6-Day Kid Blanket, number 1 on Ravelry. And I'm like, what? And I go over to Ravelry and I check my downloads and it's like, a bunch of people downloaded my pattern. Somebody's picture went viral of the 6-Day blanket. And this is why you should always tag your designers, because you never know when something that you post is going to pop off and it's going to, bring them a lot of traffic, and traffic is good fortune in this business. So you should always tag when you're posting a photo or a TikTok or something. So thank goodness that person tagged me and everybody knew where to go to get the 6-Day Kid blanket. And here we are. Then I started my Facebook group and I started figuring out how to put my stuff on a blog and make it better, improve it, make it more professional. It's been a whole journey. So the 6-Day blanket used to just be that one pattern. And then somebody said, make it in the round. And I was like, no, that's stupid. And I did it anyways. Eventually I did it. And it wasn't stupid. It was the 6-Day star. Well, first I was like, I'll do it in the round, but to me, it's not the 6-Day unless it's chevrons. And so I would never do like a granny square because to me, it wasn't the 6-Day until it's chevroned. So I was trying to make it, my Facebook page is that I'm Betty McKnit everywhere. My real self, my real self, Beth Elliott, my real name is Beth Elliott, on all my social media has been overtaken by Betty McKnit. So yeah, that happened. So then, okay, so 6-Day blanket, making it around. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. I would only do that if I could make it chevron. So that is how I ended up doing the star blanket, because I was trying to do it in the round and make it chevron. So that's the 6-Day star. And then I just started getting creative. I was like, I could also do this star and make an adaptation and make more points. I was thinking that it would be possible to add in the points on any repeat. So everybody's star could be different, but it doesn't really work like that. Geometry doesn't really work like that. So I ended up doing the superstar, which is where you add the extra peaks in between, right at the beginning of the setup rounds. And so that ends up being like a round blanket. And that is the closest thing to being in the round, but chevroning, is the 6-Day superstar blanket. And then I did one that is like the star, but you do a couple of repeats and then you add in those extra points. So some of them are big and some of them are small, and that's the supernova. So that was and I just called them all the 6-Day. It was the 6-Day blanket, 6-Day Kid blanket, 6-Day star blanket, superstar supernova. And then last year or the year before, I did end up doing the granny square. So it goes around and it doesn't chevron. It's a square. If you had to pick something, what would you nominate as your best item ever crocheted? That's easy. The 6-Day Beach House blanket. It is that yarn. Knitting Fever gave me enough Noro for 3 projects last year. So I did the star shawl, the Starro shawl, star shawl with Noro. It's called the Starro. And the Super Starro. So I did 2 shawls for them with the Noro Yukata yarn. And they're fabulous, but they're expensive. The kits cost $100. You get 2 things of Noro Yukata and the pattern, a hard copy of the pattern. And they're incredible. They turn out gorgeous every time. And then they gave me 6 balls of the Tsubami, which is a wool and silk blend to make a 6-day blanket with. And let me tell you, that working on that blanket with that yarn was the most satisfying crochet experience I think I have ever had. I did not want to stop. Like, it was like reading a good book, and I didn't want it to end. I wanted to just keep working on that forever. I mean, it is just so nice. And the kits are really pricey. It's $300 for the yarn. But in my opinion, it's worth it. It would be so I kept that blanket for myself. Like, that's my blankie now. And to me, it's just been such a journey from this, little toddler blanket that I made to this spectacular full-size blanket with this high-end, beautiful yarn from Japan. Like, what a journey, and I went through a lot in, like, when the pattern originally went viral, and that was kind of the seed for me, like, starting a crochet business and designing more patterns and starting to teach people online. And I have a whole community now of people around me. And that happened during a very dark time. And there were a lot of big changes in my life. And so, like, that beach house blanket to me is just like a symbol of everything I've been through and how far I've come. So that would be the best item I've ever crocheted. I love the 6-day stitches. Like, I feel like there's some magic about them. I don't know really exactly what it is. Like, my hands just make them now automatically. But even like when I was designing the 6-day star, I noticed it's like it just worked out, like the repeats, the math, the numbers. Like, if I just fiddled around with it long enough, I got it to work out. Hey, Jazzy Jude, it is $300 for the kit. So it has 6 balls of Noro Tsubami, and I designed it so that you don't have any left over. You use all of it. Because you know what? There's nothing worse than buying expensive yarn and then only using like a little bit of the last ball. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever had that happen? Like you end up only needing a little bit of it. So I designed that blanket so that you would use all the yarn. It's $50 a ball, yeah, and it's 6 balls of yarn. I want to do a crochet along next year and include the kit, the yarn, the pattern, some scented stitches, and maybe like a journal book, and have, schedule like weekly sessions where people can make their own beach house blanket. They can, tell their own story, put their own like life and energy into the project, do it as like a self-care, um, self-love item for themselves. That's my plan. I mean, I nap under that blanket every day, and the energy that it holds is like really wonderful. It's very healing. I mean, that's like my healing story right there. The healing power of crochet. And I mean, I went through a nasty divorce, and I also was, sick, and I had to give up teaching dance because of my health and mobility issues. It was the only thing I ever wanted to do with my life. And I had my dream job teaching dance in a college. I had my own dance company. I ran a choreography festival. I taught yoga. I just loved the work that I was doing. And then my body broke down. And so I had to give that up. And I went through an ugly divorce. I didn't know what I was going to do. And and then my pattern went viral and like opened up this other door. It was terrifying, actually. I was terrified. I was so scared. Divorce is difficult, but like in an ideal world, you just like you part ways and you help each other out, you make it cordial. Like that did not happen. Look at me changing colors twice. I'm going to do another row because I really want to do another color. So I'm going to do one more, and I'm going to bring in the turquoise. Satisfying. I'll show you all some of the colors that I rejected because I didn't feel excited. I didn't feel excited about this. So that got the boot. I really like green, but I didn't feel excited about this green. I like this blue better, or blue, or whatever this is. Kathy says change is never easy. My divorce was really difficult. either, but the growth is amazing. Yeah, people, I would say I'm getting divorced, and people like my ex-husband was my high school sweetheart. So like we had been together forever, and you know, it was a surprise. We just were one of those couples you would think would never split up, but people would say, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and I'd be like, "It's the best thing that could happen," and it was, but it was difficult. I'm showing you the ones that I rejected. Okay, I'm showing you the ones I didn't feel. So I also had this. I love this mustard yellow. Okay, as a color, I love it, but I didn't think that it really worked with the brighter yellow. So, boom. Well, Cindy, you're not seeing the true color here on TikTok. That other blue is green. It's not blue at all. It's green. It's more green than blue. And then there's this. This is what I would call caca brown. It looks yellow on TikTok, but it's not yellow. Yeah, Cindy, you're not seeing the true colors. I might put the rejects together and do something with them. They might look good together, but I did not. And then there's this brown. I did not feel excited about them. I ended up just going with the ones I felt excited about. And I was trying not to do, look, this one barfed too. Yeah, it looks peachy, but it's not. It's, well, maybe it is a little peachy, but nothing like, like maybe a little too close to this or something. I don't know. Some of them were like just too close to one another in color. Okay, let's do this. This is most likely going to be my last row because the ridge row takes a long time, and I'm pretty cooked. Pretty cooked. I'm sitting here smelling Brussels sprouts, and I want some. I'm just excited to bring in this bright aqua. Bright. The name of the color is Fjord. Fjord. I hope I'm saying that right. Yep. Okay, this row is basically the same as row 6 on the regular 6-day blanket. We're just doing front post double crochet in instead of regular double crochet. So on a front post double crochet, you work the post of the stitch from the front. And then the 3 double crochet in the peak goes into the top of the stitch. It does not go around the post. Dee Louise came up with this, by the way. It was her idea to change color on this row and do front post instead of regular double crochet. I feel like this blue just breathes life into it. I love blue and orange together. I don't know why. I do know why. It's because it's Mudkip colors. This is the slowest row. Cindy, all the ones I said I didn't like, you said you liked. We must be opposites. I was like, here's my reject. And you're like, I like that. Every single one. I think they probably would look good together. Odella said she liked my rejects too. And she's on YouTube. So she was seeing them how they actually are. I don't know if I'm understanding this concept 100%. Oh, I just wiped my scented stitches on my nose. Now I can really smell it. I'm really getting the aromatherapy experience because I just wiped it right on my nostrils. I think that those other colors were very similar to the ones I'm using, but they have a darker tone. So I think that tone, am I using it right? I think that tone refers to like how much black there is in the color. So I feel like the ones that I chose have like a brighter tone, and those other versions are like very similar but just with a darker tone, if that makes sense. Let's see if this one works. This is like see if that makes the camera turn on. Is it going to turn? I heard it make that clicking sound. Come on, eCam. It's not coming on eCam. It worked perfectly last time. It just came right back up. So maybe one's the limit. They did say in like the troubleshooting, there it is. Yes. They said to use the adapter that so you don't have to change the battery. But I used to have one and it made my camera really hot. I'm holding judgment on the blue you're using now because it seems bright for your other colors. The others on your blanket remind me of fall leaves. I noticed a couple years ago that this like bright turquoise blue was showing up it was when I was working at Michael's, that it was showing up in the fall stuff. You know, this is I don't know if they call it a complementary color. So it's when the color is on the opposite end of the color wheel. So blue. I pointed to the orange and I said blue. Blue and orange are opposites, right? On the color wheel. I think it looks brighter too on video than it actually is. I like it. Amy says, I love how very different colors look in different order. Yes. This blue looks completely different next to that orange than it does next to this coral down here. Or cranberry. And notice how pink that looks next to the orange. But it's not really pink. It sort of is. It's like a salmony orange. But I love this turquoise blue as an accent in fall tones. Not everyone's going to like it. Not everyone's going to like what I do. I just hope they're nice about it if they comment on my YouTube videos. Because it hurts my feelings. I turned it off where you can show the likes and dislikes, and because there's always somebody thumbing my videos down. So I can't see the thumb down anymore, but I can see the percentage. It shows me the percentage of like to dislike, and it's like 79%, 83%, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to see that. I would just rather not know. I can only take so much. I'm getting better. I try not to let it take me out anymore. Sometimes I react and I engage, and that's usually when it goes south. Best thing to do if I don't like a comment is just get rid of it. Danielle says, teal is my favorite color and orange is my wife's favorite color, so I love it. I think they look great together. Thank you. Orange and blue are mudkip colors. My son is a Pokemon guy, and he was one of those. Loves mudkip, and we had this little dog that his dog that he picked out, this little Taco Terrier, who is on the cover of the 6-Day Kid Blanket, by the way, and he named him Mudkip. Haters gonna hate. Yeah, it's intellectually you know that, and it's like I said, if I start engaging with it, that's usually when I get in trouble. Like if I respond and I don't give myself time to think about how I want to respond, and I just react in the moment, that's usually when it goes south. Not so much even in the interaction, just in my thoughts. Just, it just triggers something. Thanks, Amanda. Yeah, it's really, it can be really hard to put yourself out there. And I mean, I have business friends who are like, they don't want to be on certain platforms because they don't want to have to deal with it, or they don't want to put themselves out there in a certain way. I don't know. I'm one of those people, I wear my heart on my sleeve, as they say. I'm on here telling my story all the time, personal things about myself. I guess I don't really think that many people are actually watching. That's why I'm just like, whatever, I just say whatever. But I don't know. I just think for the most part, I'm a pretty laid back person. And then when somebody, comes in and like tries to take a bite out of me, I'm like, what? Hey. I'm going to try and come back on tomorrow. Hey, Andrew, you're back. I'm still here. How long? Oh, I've been almost 3 hours. I'm going to try and come back on tomorrow and get some more done on this because, like I said, when I get the call, I'm out of here, and I'm probably not going to be able to go live for a couple weeks. Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate your kind words. They really do go a long way. Um, it is really nice to hear it. I mean, I got so upset one time. I got some mean comments right as I was going into my surgery back in the beginning of 2022, beginning of last year. I had some mean comments on my YouTube channel, and I put my phone down. I went into surgery and I was like, I'm not going to do any more YouTube after this. I'm going to focus on other things. And while I was having surgery, my star blanket went viral. And I came out of surgery to like all these messages on my phone, and my phone going off, and people on my YouTube channel, and somebody, thank goodness, said, I love the way you do your live videos. It feels like I have somebody to sit and work along with. And if that person had not made that comment, I wouldn't be doing YouTube right now. So I really do appreciate it, and I do take it to heart when you all say kind things and nice things and tell me, that you really do find the videos helpful. It means a lot, and it keeps me going, because I'm not going to, I'm not going to keep doing something if it's like it's not landing, it's not working. YouTube is not my strength in my business, honestly. Did you take a nice nap, Andrew? How are you doing? Hello. Okay, guys, it's been almost 3 hours. This is a lot for me. No wonder I got so much done. I'm all the way back to color A. You were scrolling, not napping. Okay, good. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear you're feeling better. Almost done. I can really smell the rose, the stitch balm, but maybe that's because I rubbed it on my nose accidentally. But it's really coming through strong right now. Probably because I rubbed it on my nose. Thank you for saying so, Andrew. I know they're not everybody's favorite. Good night, Kathy. Thank you so much for being here. You stay warm in Nova Scotia. And make sure you tag me when you post your blankets on social so I can see. Hey, Anna. I mean, it just depends, Anna. Is it, you can ask the question. If it's about one of my patterns and I'm able to help, I will. But I was just about to log off. So what's your question, my dear? Increase single crochet and make 3 single crochet, and whatever you do, whatever is in parenthesis is what you do 3 times. So whatever pattern you're doing, you should read the entire thing. It probably has a key at the beginning of the pattern that explains all the stitches. So I would check. That sounds like amigurumi, which is not my thing. They kind of write their patterns a little differently than we do. Like for instance, I would say 3 single crochet, not single crochet 3. Aw, Amy, that's very nice of you to say. And I'm sorry you've been having such a hard time. But I'm glad you're with us so we can support you. Oh, this is broken. Look at that. You're welcome. Look how much I did today, but that's because I stayed on for 3 hours. 3 hours is too many. There we go. Okay, so let's see. Where's my tape measure? This is what I found. Not a tape measure. I don't see a tape measure in here. Here it is. Doesn't really belong on that side. It belongs on the other side. Okay, let's see. 16. So if I'm doing 70, so I'm going to have to do this. Well, I'm going to have one more stripe on there. So I'm going to have to do this whole thing at least 3 more times. So if I crochet for 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours at a time, 3, 4, 5, I've got like at least 15 more lives to go. It's a lot. Might be a lot more than I bargained for, plus the border. So y'all are going to be so sick of me. So sick of me. You probably already are. All right, my friends. Thank you so much for being here. It's been a pleasure. I'm going to go eat my turkey. And maybe I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.